Hey man, how's your movie going?
Here. There we go. And that's how you begin a show. Hello, everybody. I could see you guys in the chat. Welcome to Hey Man, how's your movie going? This is the process diary for my film that I'm working on called The Full Fungus. And that little opening moment of darkness was just to show you that I'm keeping everybody in the dark with the details of this film. And just want to know if you guys can hear me okay. All right. So, all right. Yes. So, all right. So, a couple things. The reason I'm doing this is because a couple weeks ago, actually on March 4th, I announced that The Full Fungus is my next film, and it's a full-length feature animated film, and I'm creating it as we speak. It's in production, and this is kind of like ancillary material to kind of keep the word out there, keep it on people's minds, so that I don't go away for 9, 10 a year. So, anyways, that's why I'm doing it. And I decided to do this first one live, just to kind of get the ball rolling. I plan to do these. I plan to do these maybe every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, approximately. Definitely not every week. Although, who knows, if I'm in the mood, maybe I will do it. I also think it would be kind of cool, maybe as a surprise, to once in a while do a pre-recorded one, like a drawing one, or maybe a live drawing one. You guys tell me. But I decided today would be fun to show a couple of the art shots that are from the beginning of the film, and also it would be fun to kind of tell you guys a little bit about the film, because that's why you tuned in. I know. So we got a few people in the chat. So I see Josh, Gary, and Chris are there. Thank you guys. I know we're all missing the Oscars right now, but that's okay, because maybe next year you'll be attending with me at the Oscars for Best Picture. So, okay, here's some details of The Full Fungus. The Full Fungus, I can tell you, I'm aiming for about 60 to 72 minutes, around that range. So it'll be a short feature film. Right now, the cast, the people that are definitely in it, playing parts, are Charlie Rossman, again, one of my longtime collaborators. Charlie's playing a character called Chino Diamond, and I should have brought a picture of him here, but actually, I could show you a picture of him here. Charlie's playing he's kind of a private eye, like a low rent private eye, a detective, the kind that investigates insurance fraud and stuff. Here you go. This is Charlie's, Chino Diamond. So he's one of the leads in this. And Chino is brought into this case, is hired to find a missing guy that they say is in danger. And it all floats around this legendary piece of music called The Full Fungus. By the way, I just got out of the shower, so I'm not all sweaty. Got the wet look going. Um, but there's a piece of music called the Full Fungus, and that's where the title comes from. And it's also hey Dee Dee, how's it going? It's also Mink Fungus is the legendary jazz musician that created that piece of music, the Full Fungus. So it has something to do with that. There's mobsters in it. There's MMA fighters in it. It's a typical Jim Lujan cartoon. So, but it's real. I talked with Gary a while back, Gary Hodges, and I ping ponged some ideas that I had early on. Oh, is Paul Pate on too? Hey, Paul, I didn't see you there. Hey, Paul. um, Actually, I talked with Paul as well, and I had this idea for a while, for a long while, and I didn't quite have a way to tie all these different elements together until recently, and then once I figured that out, it just all came together like a full fungus. And so now I'm really excited about doing this. I have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and there's lots of surprises in the middle. It's going to be one of those movies that has a lot of characters in it, a lot of music in it. It's not really a jazz movie, but it probably will have jazz in it, weird jazz. Um, but it takes place modern day, Southern California, and I'll be giving some more hints about some of the details of the plot. But it's definitely, when I talked with Paul Pate, he said it's definitely a Pulp Fiction type plot. Like there's a lot going on, and it kind of jumps back and forth on the timeline. It's also, again, like one of my favorites. It's also, I think, inspired by the Coen brothers. I'm a big Lebowski fan, as well as their other films. But it's definitely, I don't know. I could tell early on it has its own legs, which I'm really excited about. So, but enough of that. Let's see if we can see some of the sneak previews of the artwork. All right. All right. So, of course, this is the title of the film, The Full Fungus. And I revealed, like I said, I revealed that on May 4th or March 4th. And now we're going to March 4th and make the movie. But I'm really excited about that. As you can see, there's some music in the background there. So if anybody has any questions too, you guys can ask me some questions. But enough of this is the big buildup. Now let's actually look to where I'm at. Since this is a production diary, let's look at some production stuff, shall we? I'll tell you, I have gone back to an old school way of doing things. So I have what you're watching right now on the computer screen is I'm on my new Mac now. I have a brand new Mac to animate on, and it's been great. It's so nice. It's like having a brand new car. It's just been really like a lot of things I couldn't do before I can do now. My computer doesn't freeze up, and the actual software that I use is actually a little bit more legit now. So I can actually do things like crowd pans and actual fully drawn, detailed backgrounds that move. Before, when I would do that, it would leave trails because my computer didn't have enough RAM. But now this one's all packed out and ready to go. So I'm really happy. I've already experimented with it. So, and then what I do is so let's go over the process a little bit. So I'm not writing off of a traditional script. I didn't sit down and type out a script, but what I did do is what I've done with my other films as well. I'll come up with a bullet point list of things that happen in it, and then I'll kind of like I'll elaborate on each one of those. So and then within each of those bullet points, like for example, let's just show a little bit here. For example, the opening shot takes place, well, the opening scene, I should say, takes place on a park basketball court. And there's a kind of a disagreement going on, some argument. And there's a little bit of animated basketball hijinks. And so, like, when I'm coming up with a story, I put like basketball scene or basketball court. And then within there, I have all the little things that happen and things that people say. When people are doing voices for me, I will write out a script for them. So that's the only time I sit down and write a fully developed script. When I'm doing the voices myself, it's just little notes and, but let's see some of these comments real quick since we are live. So speaking of Gary Hodges, he says, how many puns can we expect in this stream? I think there's going to be 12 puns. I think we've already gone through 2. So, and then Josh says, I dig the color hold on the background there. Thank you. One of the things I'm doing with this film, Josh, is I'm going to totally murder this and get this wrong, but you'll get the concept. I think, and somebody can Google this for me. I think there's something called the 30, what is it? 70, 30, no, 70, 20, 10 rule, something like that in film, where 70% of the color palette for a shot is sort of one color family. Then 20% is another one that complements that kind of, and then 10% is just like a wild card colors or whatever. So yeah, so this palette, I've also found something really cool in Procreate is that you can make your own palettes, color palettes from a photo. So and that's really good. Even when you create your own shot, it's really cool to take your own artwork and create a color palette off of that. But this one, I don't know if this one was created off a color palette or not. I mean, a photo or not. But sorry about that. Again, beginners. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, they got me, but I fought back. Am I okay? Am I back on? Somebody give me a thumbs up. I'm going to go forward as if I am back on. So this is why we need a co-host, really. But so that's that shot I showed you. That's the color palette. So am I good? Can you guys hear me? Yo. Okay, thanks. I thought so. All right, don't touch the buttons, man. Don't touch the buttons. All right. And again, like I said, some of these shows are going to be live like this, where I'll take questions and stuff like that. And some of them I'll do pre-recorded, and some of them will be drawn. I'll actually work on the artwork. So here's how the process works. You're going to get behind the magic right now. Okay, so I'm thumbing through a sketchbook right now. I think some of you saw this on Instagram. I posted. This is my latest book of magic, book of secrets. I just happen to have. Hang on, let me grab these here. I just happen to have old books here, so I don't have that many sketchbooks. I probably have equivalent to this. I probably have, in the entire time I've been doing cartoons, five of them, but they're all full. Like, this is my old one. I used to have this one. This one's pretty full too. So this one was, there's just a lot of notes and a lot of drawings in this one. But this one had, this one had a bunch of stuff in it. But anyways, all good stuff. And then this is another one that I recently kind of filled up. And then now I got this one. So that's where we're at. So what I do is, let's see. Okay, we have to show this joke. Yes. Yes, of course. You guys buy me some time. All right, so in this book here, I'm trying to find my notes page on here. Hang on. Well, I guess I can show you guys this. I won't show any of the notes because that'll be totally give the story away, but I will show this. I posted this on Patreon. By the way, if you guys are interested, I posted this on Patreon a few days ago, but this is a design for one of the characters in the film. This character right here is a very early design of her. Her name is Brandy the Beast Carlisle. Yes, Brandy Carlisle is her name. And she's fighting Yolanda Lass Wrights Ferguson. There's an MMA fight scene in this film. And I don't know if you can see her cauliflower ear, little note for the cauliflower ear right there. But this is basically pretty much most of the character design that I do. I don't do tons and tons and tons of characters. And what I'll do is I'll take this design and I'll bring it into, I'll take a photo of it with my iPad and trace over it sometimes. Or I will just eyeball it and draw it off of that. But this is pretty much the character design that I'm doing. So, but yeah. So what I do is I've been designing the characters in this and having a blast because you don't have to plug this in, and this needs no batteries. And yeah, there's more stuff I'll be showing you guys. But and then I take it here into the iPad, into Procreate. And Procreate, I will, well, you can see here, I took a photo of it in Procreate, and then I brought it into, you bring it into, I'm sorry, the iPad, and you bring it into Procreate. I'm trying to find something that's not too extreme spoilery, but something that I can show you guys. All right, here you go. Here's a basketball shot. Now, you can see I drew all of the motions that this thing is animated. I drew all the motions as different layers in Procreate, and I'll take this into Adobe Animate, and I'll actually animate it there. This is one single shot, but it was fun doing this. I used reference for some of this. You could tell because it's, but when I use reference, I go way off the map, so I don't obviously draw, unless if somebody was really built like this in real life, they would probably need to see an orthopedic surgeon or something. So let's see if we got some more comments here. All right. Listening. Oh, Paul says, listening and painting with my daughter, Emily. Hey there. All right. And thank you, Dee Dee. Josh, thank you. And Christopher, thank you. By the way, Christopher Runciman is also in my cast. That I need to announce him. Christopher Runciman is playing a bowling announcer, but also I might have him do some more stuff. Deacon Burns from Counterclockwise, he's playing a character in it, a character or two. I think tonight, as an exclusive, I think because this has been, technically very fun and challenging tonight, I think I'm going to show you guys Mink Fungus tonight. That's right. Mink Fungus has not been publicly seen. I've never released any artwork with him. So give me a second here. Here, let me give you some nice artwork to look at whilst I pull up a photo of Mink Fungus. Let's look at this guy here. All right, I'm just getting a photo of Mink Fungus handy. All right, this is I have a name for this guy. this character, but I haven't said it publicly yet because I might change it when it comes time to doing the audio. But this guy is just like the worst guy to play basketball with. Always constantly calling fouls and just a park annoyance. And he appears at the beginning of the movie. And let's see. All right, I'm going to show you it off my iPad here. Okay, but so I'll actually. Hey Frank, what's happening, man? So like I said, if anybody has any questions, hit me up because otherwise I'm just talking in circles. Kind of very expressive. Yeah, thank you. So there's a scene at the beginning of the movie where there's a basketball game going on, and Charlie's character, his name is Chino Diamond, the private investigator guy, is taking video or photos of this guy because this guy's out on like sick leave, or he's on workman's comp. So that's kind of the opening of the film, and it's some pretty good stuff going on. I think I even have. I'll give you guys the first animated clip too. Hang on here. Okay. Let's see here. All right. I got another clip here. You guys ready for some incredible animation? Here it goes. Mind-blowing animation of a blown layup. And here he goes. Boom. Let's watch it again. And boom. And let's watch it again, and we'll stop it as it goes up. Oh, yeah, look at that. You could see that. Look at the detail on that. That's Disney quality right there. Yes. So even the tattoos move. That's right, folks. Anyways, so that's sort of what you can expect. That's where your tax dollars are going. So I think do I have some more stuff here to share with it? Let's see what we got here. We got the close-up of the fella. Got a close-up of that guy. Let's try that. That's the one. He's got the lipstick on the neck, I think as Corey Kerr would probably say, this is, in his eyes, I'm sure he'd say, this is my most Jim Lujan character in the film. But there's others. There are others. But I'll reveal his name soon. It's not like it's a secret. I just might change it. That's why I don't want to say his name yet, because I haven't recorded the audio for him yet. So, and I think I'm doing his voice, and I might change his name at the last minute. So I don't. So there's that. All right. So Dee asks, how long does it take you to make a movie? Thank you for the question, Dee. For lately I've been doing 20-minute movies, and those have been taking about 5 to 6 months because I've been doing 2 movies a year, and there's 12 months in a year if I remember correctly. But so this one, being that this is 3 times as long, should it mathematically think this is going to take like a year and a half ish. I told Paul Pate 9 or 10 months when he asked, but I don't know. I'm not holding myself to that. If I had to guesstimate, I'd say like towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, this will be out. One of the goals I have with this film, and everybody say it, the full Fungus. One of the goals I have with this is to put it in festivals, because I usually don't get films in festivals. I've submitted for some, but I don't know. To me, it's never been a goal of mine. Although I've played festivals, and I've actually, I've even won festivals before. That's right. But But this one I definitely want to put in film festivals because it's going to be a feature length one, and those usually, I mean, it seems like there's not as many animated feature films out there. So, and actually, this one is, like they say, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. But I don't know why people are eating elephants. They should stop that. But this one, it's like, how do you eat this elephant? It's just like I'm creating it a little bit at a time, and before you know it, I mean, you're going to have the full fungus. No pun intended. So, all right. So Paul says, the unique sounds of Saturday morning basketball arguments at the park. Yes, definitely. Yes, everybody calls fouls. Frank Salazar asks, is that one based on Mewtwo? You got the lipstick on the neck perfectly. There are no goggles on that. Well, he has sunglasses, but and then yes, elephant is quite delicious. So yeah, so I'm having a lot of fun making this film for one, and I think the beloved Gary Hodges mentioned that. He said I was very excited about this one. A little backstory on this one. So this is one of those ideas I've had for a long time, for probably, well, I've had the title for about a year. And then I always knew that what the title would refer to, a piece of music, but I didn't have a real story. And then when I was finishing up the last one, The Night Eats Its Own, I had a really fun time working on that. There's a lot of Santa Barbara references in that one. I love Santa Barbara. I love going there. So I just had a really good time making that one. And I thought, it's time to make a feature. It's time to make a feature, and it's time to not try to get, the Hollywood blessing or the big funding. It's just I have everything I need to make a feature, so I'm going to do it. It was also a really good excuse to upgrade my computer finally after 10 years, and get new software. Upgrade finally. I'm using the animation software I was using before is from the 1970s, basically. Now I'm at least in the late 90s. So, and then Paul asks, will there be cameos from your other characters? Yes, there will be. The main villain in this, I can say, if you go back and watch a film of mine, take notes. If you go back and watch a film that I did called Seven Smiles, there's a character in that named Koviak. Emiliano Koviak is his name. He's the bad guy in that film, and he's from New York. And he is actually the main godfather-ish character in this film. But he's like, now, because Seven Smiles takes place in 1982, and he was older back then. So now he's like 100-something years old now, and he's on oxygen and stuff. But so that could be kind of considered a cameo. What else? The Funktasmic Five. If anybody's familiar with the Funktasmic Five, they are going to make sort of an appearance in this. So there'll be several characters. There'll probably be a Danny Fingerman connection, or at least his father, Ben Fingerman. So yeah, it's not like chock full of cameos. They're all like totally necessary when they come out. But yeah, this definitely ties into the other films and stuff. So it's in that same Lunaverse, if you will, or Luhanaverse or whatever. Let me get rid of this thing. I need to stop begging for money already. And if you haven't seen those films, go there because you can watch them there. So what else? Let's go back to the comments and see what's going on in the chats. The people are saying, Didi asks, how many films have I made that I consider complete? Well, short, like let's say under 10-minute films, I probably have 35, maybe 40. I don't know, a lot of short films. Over 15 minutes, like 15 to 30 minutes, I probably have 6 or 7 films. This would probably be like my 8th one. So I do have a feature film. Well, I did one with Bill Plimpton called Revengeance. So I actually have 2. So the first feature film that I did was called Counterclockwise in Foreverland. And that one it's over an hour long. And I think that has the most hits of anything I've ever done. And that one's on Amazon. You can watch it there. You can watch it on YouTube for free. And it's played in theaters. It played in theaters in Cleveland, at least. And actually it played in, I think it played it at a couple of festivals here. And then I did Revengeance, and that's Bill Plimpton and myself did that. And that one played all over the world. That even played in, it played in Morocco, believe it or not. Yeah. So yeah, all over the world. So, and Paul Bates says, I would say Koviak sounds like Hector Salamanca, but I bet he's not. No, he's not. Koviak is not him. Will the hip pastor make a return in a future film? Yes. I don't know when, but he will one day. The hip ripped pastor from Pleasure Beast, played by Joshua Kemble, one of our generation's greatest actors. I like these questions. It's a lot easier answering questions than it is just talking, by the way. So thank you. Let's see. So another thing. So there is kind of a bowling, I was going to say a bowling motif. I don't know if that's the right word, but a theme, kind of a background theme going on through the whole film, where there's bowling on the radio, bowling on TV, a couple of bowling clips. And Christopher Runciman does a lot of those, the bowling announcers and bowling voices and stuff like that. I might throw a couple in, Chris, by the way. But Christopher Runciman blew me away when he sent me his audio files. They're so good. And actually, Christopher Runciman, not only is he doing the bowling things, but he also did this one here.
Hey man, how's your movie guy?
So thank you for that, Chris. So, and hey, Linda Lee, long time no see, Linda Lee in the comments. Fellow animator. That's awesome. Thank you. So, and then Chris says, looking forward to the appearance of the Funktastic Five. Christopher, my lawyers are going to tell you right now, it is Funktasmic 5. It's not a tick, it's a mick. So, but yeah, thank you. Me too. I call him the Funktastic 5 all the time. I always mess up. So, Frank wants to know, any Turako cameos in Fungus? Yes, Turako Colo will be in the film, sponsoring it. Who is my favorite character that I've created? It always comes down to current favorite because it changes. But the ones that come to mind, I love Danny Fingerman. I think he's funny, the lawyer. I really like Charlie's Slim Dookie from The Night Eats Its Own, was a great character. From Infinity Pool, there's Dr. Jonah, played by Tom Racine. That's a great character. Of course, there's always the older ones like Freak Daddy and John Henry Unicorn. And, I don't know. I think it's always going to be a current favorite. But yeah, Josh likes John Henry Unicorn too. Yeah. One day I'll do a John Henry Unicorn movie. In fact, I was debating if that would be the next thing that I would do, because I have one sort of written. But you know how I always say I go back to my old files and I pick something that's a few years old? Well, right now is the time when, like, the John Henry Unicorn movie is kind of, the ideas there, and maybe in a few years I'll go back and pull it from. I'll go back in time to now. So let me give my future self a message. Hey Jim, don't screw it up. Okay, all right. But Josh says it's funny to do like a documentary on the unicorn. I would love to do that. That's I have wanted to do like a fake documentary for a long time. There's so many things that I've wanted to do. A couple reasons I don't. The number one reason I don't is because it's actually a lot of work. A lot of work. It's just a lot of work. And the other reason I don't is because I guess documentary now is, they kind of beat me to the punch. They do it great. So yeah, I love Bill Hader and Fred Armisen. I think they're geniuses. All right, and then Didi says, have you considered making a book of characters and scenes? Yes, Didi, yes. Actually, there is one out there called Liquor Store Logic. If you go on Amazon, I think, Gary, you could back me up. How much was it? It was it's like $3 now. But you can order it on Amazon.com, Liquor Store Logic, and it's actually pretty good. It's a smaller book, but it's got a lot of my early characters and pinups and stuff like that. I will put the word out there right now to everybody watching. I'm totally interested in doing some more art books, print on demand art books. I just don't know how to format them. So if somebody wants to help me with that or give me a tip, Gary gave me a tip of this comics on demand, but it's like hard copy printing. But I'd really want to get stuff back on Amazon because it's so easy to tell people about that. So if somebody wants to help me format the pages or just give me some pointers on the template, just a reminder, I'll do that because I did that book about 12 years ago or so. Paul wants to know, why not do a document about that time I toured with Cool and the Gang? Because what happens on the bus stays on the bus. It's all Cool and the Gang. So, and then Gary says, like $3. That's right. But so I also got to thank a couple people too early on. One of them I've been chatting up like a chatty Cathy is Gary, of course, Gary, because there's two people I've kind of used to just bounce ideas off of. One of them is Gary Hodges, because Gary will tell me when he's not crazy about an idea. And early on, I was presenting him with, I was really excited about the idea, but I only had a third of the idea. And I think he could tell. He's like, I think you're onto something. It just doesn't sound like you have it all formulated out. I don't. And I was changing things around. And then at some point, I talked to Paul Pate. And I think Paul suggested one, because I had conflicting ideas. I had these two different ideas. And Paul said, like, your favorite film, Pulp Fiction, why not combine the two? And I thought that could only be a good thing. That could only be a good thing because I feel so strongly about both of these ideas, and they do kind of intertwine. This film's definitely going to be a very tricky film to do an elevator pitch on, except for I could say it's about a missing piece of music and the cast of characters that are trying to get it. Okay, so we have an update now, folks. Liquor Store Logic is now $9.99, Gary. It's gone up. Oh, my gosh. Didi, thank you. Wow, that's very, very sweet. She ordered two of them. But that's, my birthday's not till September, but that's what you guys can give me. If somebody wants to private message me or email me, just to remind me how to format my my pages for Amazon. I forget what Amazon's called. When I was doing it, it was, oh God, I don't even remember what it was. Amazon has their own print on demand. I think you guys probably know a lot better than I do. But I do want to put some more art books out, and I do want to do an art book for this. Probably something magazine size or something. Not like a hardcover, or I don't know, maybe a hardcover. But Yeah, I wanna do all of that stuff. There's a million things I wanna do. KDP. Yeah, you know me. Thank you, Frank. KDP. Yes. Um, so I definitely wanna do that. Yeah, so if somebody has some tips on formatting for KDP, I think it'd be great to do an art of, you know, the full fungus, you know? Um, so yeah, so what else? What else? Let's see where I'm at. What haven't I shown here? Let's see. Thank you guys for sticking with me during my technical issues. But um, how much oh here I don't know if I showed this shot yet. How much spoilers, how many spoilers do you guys really how many do you want to see like during the process of making this film? I mean, I can do everything from like what I'm doing tonight. I'm not doing that many tonight, but like how much spoilerage do you want? I can always give warnings too, by the way, like when there is spoilers, but um, just light spoil want me to be vague, want me to um, you know, but yeah, like showing that, like talking about the opening scene here. Well, here's what I plan to do with this show. So what I plan to do is kind of just talk about like, hey man, how's your movie going? Like it's going great, thanks. And then just sign off. No, I plan to like talk about how the movie's going. So I'll tell you where I'm at in the in the yeah, Josh says, spill it all. Spill it all. Um so right now, I haven't recorded any voices except for Christopher Runciman, recorded a ton of stuff. So I have his and I've actually edited, thanks, Chris. But right now, and don't show too much. That okay? I get you. I'll meet you guys in the middle. I'll show a little bit, but not. I won't ruin anything for anybody. Um, right now, I have a few voice actors lined up. I got Kaya Rogue from Counterclockwise. She's going to be doing some voices. Um, I'm going to probably hit up some of the usual folks that I've done other stuff with. Um, but I'm always up for using new people too. But I kind of wanted to keep the cast small on this, you know, um, and do more work myself. Um, I haven't recorded any of the real music for this. I've recorded some really. Here's one of the fun things about doing this. I've recorded some experimental jazz music, and it's hilarious. Wait till you guys hear it. It's just ridiculous is the best word I could put. Um, and it. I think one person's heard it. Paul, you've heard it. You can testify. But it's really funny. But like I said, this isn't a jazz film. It's not going to have a jazz soundtrack to it. Hold on. Linda says, "Do you have InDesign?" I think InDesign layout book. Yeah, I don't have InDesign, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Thank you, Linda. Experimental jazz by Luan Salazar. Wait till you hear it. Yes. I did see some people do vids using Canva to make pages for KDP. I haven't done any of that. All right, I would love just to have a drag and drop. Like you know what I need is I just need like the size dimensions with the bleed, like something that gives me a little layout like that, and then how to upload them again. But I definitely want to do some more books. Frank says, I'm available for any voices that you might need. I can voice a pigeon. All right. Well, look, you got Tarraco Cola in it. You're already sponsored. What more do you want? Yeah, I'll ask Scott. Everybody's mentioning to ask Scott see what he uses. Yeah, I'll talk to him about that. I need a real dummy version. I actually have enough material. I could probably, if I figure out how to do the KDP thing again, I have enough material for like 2 or 3 books already. I could probably do some stuff with the old back catalogs. But yeah, that's one of those things where I want to do it, but it's not a high priority. It's it's something on my mind, but not. But so where am I at with this movie? So I haven't recorded any of the main voices besides a lot of the bowling stuff. I expect to be recording some audio for the main characters the end of March, beginning of April, throughout the next few months after that. The way I've done my last few films. I did I'd say 98% of the artwork I did first. I do first. So I do, and then it's always a different scenario, but I'll tell you, like with the last one that I did, I drew almost all of the artwork on the iPad first, backed it up, and then did the audio. But that's not 100% true, because if somebody's available at only a certain time frame, then I'll record their audio with them, and then I'll have that, like Christopher Runciman's. I have his audio now, and but I'm doing right now, I've done all the artwork for the first opening scene, 100% of it. It's all done, and I've animated. Let's say there's 16 or 17 shots for the first opening scene, and I've animated 4 of them, and none of them have audio. They don't need audio. They're just action shots, or they're whatever. So I have more to animate. So, but it's going along pretty good. What's going to be more time consuming is when I start getting into the audio. But one of the things I also did too is this is a new computer. I had to get my work method back down, because like when I installed Animate on my computer, all the preferences were gone, like from the old days, including exporting files, including importing files, audio files, the formats that Audacity, because I have a new version of Audacity now, that, and I got Logic, and, like everything had to be set up. Now I have, as of this recording, I have everything set up the way I want it. So the way it was before. So I can really fly. I was fast before. With this, I'll be even faster. So, what does Gary said? Gary says, if you have any need for gypsy jazz clarinet playing, I have the hookup. You know what? I know so many gypsy jazz clarinetists. Is that even a word? Clarinetist. But thank you, Gary. Yes, maybe. You never know. We could, and then Josh says, I'm forgetting, do you start with the audio? Oh, I think he wrote that before I said that. So no, I usually start with the artwork first, usually. But this one. So again, I didn't write a big script to follow. I just have the story bullet pointed out. And within those bullet points, I can move stuff around, or I can change stuff. And I'm kind of building it as I go chronologically. I have a feeling I'll jump around in it a little bit as I get going. Because again, I'm just at the beginning of this. I have a feeling as it gets going, I'll be jumping around. One more thing I want to say too. This story. Okay, I was going to show you guys something here. Hang on. I actually have to show you on my iPad. I haven't posted this anywhere, and you guys are getting an exclusive here. This will sign off my night. But all right. So when I do these future shows, I'll probably just hit the ground running. I'll probably just say, well, so I did this week, and this, and this, like I'll just, get going fast. All right. There we go. I want to show you guys the first public photo of Mink Fungus. Mink Fungus, the great jazz great, the late Mink Fungus. This is Mink Fungus. Now, here's a little bit about Mink Fungus. Experimental jazz pioneer, really big in the 60s and some of the, late 60s and late 50s. And problem was he was pretty much addicted to everything. He hit the horse. He addicted to alcohol, gambling, sex addict. Just anything you can name. But lived a wild life, Mink Fungus. But wrote the Full Fungus. Was one of his. That's his signature classic piece, the Full Fungus. However, the Full Fungus isn't really the Full Fungus because rumor has it that there's a missing suite of music in it that jazz archivists have been arguing for years if it exists or not. Well, this movie will answer that question. So there you go. So deep cut Mingus. Deep cut Mink Fungus LPs are hard to get a hold of. Yeah, definitely. And does he have whiskey? And yes, he does. And cigarettes on the piano. Yes. Thank you, Gary. I can hear the applause. I can hear all the applause. Thank you, guys. So, but that's where the Full Fungus comes from. So those are the kind of spoilers I'll be giving away on this show. Also, if you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments and I'll answer them on the next episode. I will continue to show more artwork from here. And actually, I'll actually leave you with this as well. So this is where a character gets born. I haven't posted this either. This is where a character gets born on my pages. So see, he looks different than his final version, but you're getting there. But so his full name is Dwight Charles Mink Fungus. Mink's a nickname. And it even says right here he's addicted to heroin, cocaine, alcohol, weed, pills, gambling, and women. Not in that order. And Mink Fungus is there's another bottle. I just pictured him being really, in the classic jazz heydays. Probably at his height in the late 50s. And then towards the end, spoiler alert, he dies in the late 60s in a really weird way. You guys will laugh. It's just bizarre. Because you guys laugh at death. I know you guys. So, but that's Mink Fungus. So Mink is not I wouldn't call him a lead in this film either. I'm going to use a Star Wars reference. In this film, Mink is kind of the Yoda, although he's not the wise guy. But you know how Yoda is associated with Star Wars, but he's not in every scene and he's not a lead. So Mink is in this film, but here's another exclusive you guys get. There are two other fungi. There's Mink's son, Champ Fungus, who, damn it, I'm going to show you guys some more spoilers. This will be really cool, though. I think you guys will like this. I'll show you a photo of Champ Fungus. This is, again, like when I'm designing a character, I'll do like 1 or 2 drawings of them, and then they hit the ground running. So Champ Fungus is Mink Fungus's only child. And Champ Fungus actually was a founding member of the Funktasmic Five. Right here. Here's the Funktasmic Five album cover. Come Get Your Love. I know a lot of you guys have this already. Come Get Your Love, great classic album. But this guy right here, that is Champ Fungus right there. That's Champ Fungus. And Champ also meets his demise. Isn't that a spoiler alert? Through drugs, and there's kind of a chain going. So there's a third fungus. Well, you guys are getting this exclusive here for hanging around. You guys are getting exclusives. All right, I'm going to show you. I think I have a photo. So there's a third fungus out there. The grandson, the son of Champ. And his name, do I have him here? I have him here. Played by Deacon Burns, by the way. His name is. This is a rough version of him. So the grandson of Mink Fungus, son of Champ Fungus, is actually one of the leads in this, and his name is Wilt Fungus. This is Wilt Fungus. So he's played by Deacon. Now he is not in the music business. No, he's not. He did not get into that. But he's a good guy. He's a kind of on the nerdy side. But the son of Fungus, grandson of Fungus, the legend lives on. And so we got a couple of questions here. And hey, Philip, thank you for joining. Okay. How does the Funktastic 5 compare to New Direction? For one, it's the Funktasmic 5. And we all love a New Direction. So can't compare. Okay. Somebody else. Christopher, will my mother approve of the music on that album? Well, you told me not to talk about your mother, and I'm not. So, but yes, she will. Believe me, she will. But I can't wait to do. I don't know. I haven't started recording the soundtrack to this really, but I have an idea what it's going to be like, and it should be pretty fun. And one of them looks very serious, yeah. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see if I missed anything. Most important question: why is he called Han Solo when he's always with Chewbacca? Good question. Good question, Philip. And Jim is opening the vault. That's right. So now you've got an idea. So everything that I showed tonight as a preview, I will elaborate on. So this stuff's all out in the open now. So, but again, I'm not going to give myself a set deadline yet. But if I had to guesstimate, like I said, it'd be the end of the year. And then the plan is to get this thing in festivals. And, this really am doing this for the love of, just the love of the story and the love of these characters and stuff. Not trying to make a, a trilogy or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell this story. There's some more characters that are lead characters that I haven't shown you guys. I think I showed you one of them, the MMA Brandy Carlisle, the MMA fighter, and yes, that joke comes up in the film with the name Brandy Carlisle. But she's a lead, and then there's a guy that she's dating that's also one of the co-leads. So there's like 3 lead characters in this film, and the villain. So there's that. So I really am looking forward to showing you guys some more. So thank you. And again, if you guys have any questions, just shoot me a note. And
hey man, how's your movie guy?
The full fungus shall return. So thank you guys for sticking with me during the snafus at the beginning, no camera, and then going off the air. But that's how life is. No camera, and you go off the rails sometimes. All right. One last comment. I like that you showed us a flirty bit of your development on the project instead of just flashing it out loud there. Leaves us something to look forward to. I'm leaving you something for the imagination. So that's where I'm at, man. All right, guys. Appreciate it. And now you can go back to not watching the Oscars. See you guys. Thank you.